Washington, D.C. isn't just a city, it's the stage for over 200 years of national drama. But before all that, this was once home to the Nacotchtank people, part of the Algonquian-speaking tribes.
Right, and it wasn't even always called Washington. The area was picked by George Washington himself, thanks to the Residence Act of 1790. It was carved out of land from Maryland and Virginia, though Virginia's portion was later returned. That little triangle became the District of Columbia.
And the name Washington? That came later, honoring George, of course. Though the federal city wasn't officially named until 1791. Pierre Charles L'Enfant designed it with grand boulevards and symbolic sightlines. Think Champs-Élysées meets neoclassical democracy.
I love that. And even though it started as a swampy political project, it grew fast. It burned during the War of 1812. British troops torched the White House and Capitol, but it bounced back. The city became a beacon for freed slaves after the Civil War, and by the 20th century, it was booming.
Especially after World War II. All those federal agencies, embassies, think tanks, and universities turned D.C. into a global power center. The population really diversified too. African Americans especially have played a huge role in shaping this city.
That's right. D.C. was known as Chocolate City for decades, and while gentrifications changed the landscape, it's still rich with black culture, go-go music, Howard University, historic U Street, and speaking of growth, DC's now got over 700,000 residents, not including all the commuters who flood in daily. The city has a large African-American population historically, but there's growing Latino, Asian, and international communities now.
Notable people? Too many to name. Duke Ellington was born here. So was Marvin Gaye. Dave Chappelle grew up in the area. And if we count politics, tons. J. Edgar Hoover, Al Gore, even current and former cabinet members.
You know, it's got this strange dual role, capital of the United States, and also this vibrant local city with real neighborhoods. Adams Morgan, Shaw, Georgetown, Capitol Hill, each with its own vibe.
It's also a capital. The Smithsonian museums are all free. The National Gallery of Art, the Museum of African American History and Culture, the Air and Space Museum. There's nothing like it.
And don't forget the Kennedy Center. Music, theater, ballet, it's world class. And sports too. The Washington Wizards, Nationals, Capitals, and Commanders. Plus, soccer's growing big with DC United.
Let's talk food though. You've got iconic half smokes at Ben's Chili Bowl, Ethiopian at or Churcher, soul food at Florida Avenue Grill, and fancy bites at Le Diplomate and or Rose's Luxury. Oh, and mumbo sauce on everything.
And all those milestones. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, the 1963 March on Washington with Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, Obama's inauguration, the Capitol riot in 2021. This city has felt every tremor of America's story.
D.C. has always had to fight to define itself. No voting representation in Congress, but it carries the nation's burden. It's both symbol and substance, at once sacred and mundane.